Hello everyone, welcome back to the Pace Report Kitchen. I am Chef Conway and today I am going to be making some carrot cake for you. Now this is a really light and moist and very simple and easy to make carrot cake, and I'm going to walk you through it so that you can get it done and make it perfectly. Now first you want to start off by grating your carrots. If you can get your carrots shredded, that's completely fine, but if not, then you want to go ahead and grate your carrot. And here is a carrot after you finish grated, and you want to set that aside. And then after that you want to line your pan, and here I'm just using some pre-cut parchment papers which I measured out the pan size and cut it, and then I use some spray to spray it, and so it can release as the cake is baked. If you don't have any pan spray, you can go ahead and use some melted butter, or even if the butter is not melted, some room temperature butter, and just wipe it in there, and that works as well. So here you have your sugar and your eggs, and you want to go ahead and whisk that to create an emulsion. And I'm putting all the eggs inside because the whisk is going to take care of that. And so you want to whisk this until it get light and fluffy, and this is very important for it to get light and fluffy at this stage, because this is going to contribute a lot towards you having a very light cake at the end and not a dense cake. And so you want to whisk that for about maybe like 3 to 5 minutes, until it gets light and fluffy. You're gonna see it expand in its volume, and then when it expands in volume, you're going to know that it's ready. After it expands in volume, the color changes a little bit, then you're going to add your oil, and you want to slowly add your oil while still mixing in order to create an emulsion. Slowly pour your oil so that it doesn't break. You want the oil and the egg mixture to emulsify. When something is emulsified is when you have two liquid that don't usually mix together, like oil and water for example, and you put them together and they become a stable mixture. So that's what emulsification is. And then after you finish adding your oil, slowly, it's very important that you whisk your egg before adding your oil. And then you want to go ahead and add your vanilla. And the reason why it's important to mix your eggs before adding your oil is because after you add your oil, the egg will not double in volume and you will not have an airy cake. So that's very important, fun fact. And after you add your vanilla, you want to go ahead and add your flour. Now your flour, you're going to add it in stages. So you can add it in 3 stage or 4 stage, but you want to gradually add your flour and let it combine. So here I add the flour, and I'm going in with some baking soda. Usually I would mix all dry ingredients together, but I wanted you to see the different dry ingredients while I put them in. So that's why I add a little bit of flour, then the baking soda, and then I'm going to go in with some more flour, and then I'm going to add the baking powder, so you will see it as it goes in. But if you're baking and doing it all by yourself, then you just combine all your dry ingredients together and just gradually pour it in. So after you add your baking powder with that portion of flour, then you're going to want to mix it together until it combines. You do not want to over mix when you start adding your flour, because that will allow you to have a dense cake. And here I'm going in with some salt. Your salt is there for flavor. If you don't wish to use salt, that's fine, up to you. The cake is still going to taste good regardless. You want to mix until that combine. And then I'm going to go in with some cinnamon powder. Now this is going to help to flavor the cake, and it's going to change the color a little bit. Don't worry about that. And you want to mix that until it is combined. And remember, you really don't want to over mix your mixer because you don't want to have it to be too dense. And then I'm going to go in with the rest of the flour. And if you notice, I'm still mixing while adding the flour because I don't want to create any lumps. So I just keep the mixer at a side while adding the flour, and then I just put the mixer back in the middle. And you want to mix this until it combines well, until it's fully incorporated. And after this flour is incorporated, then I'm gonna stop using the hand blender or the hand mixer, and then I'm going to use a spatula to incorporate the rest of ingredients as you go along, because the hand blender will not be able to scrape the sides, and you really want to scrape your side and fold in your mixture. If you notice, you see some little air bubbles in there. This shows that the baking soda is activated and baking powder. If you realize when making carrot cake, chocolate cake, or any cake that is high in enzyme, you always add both baking powder and baking soda, which is very important. Now, the baking soda will help to neutralize the acid inside of the cake, and then when it does that, then the baking powder will assist in raising the cake. And so if you look at a recipe and you see that you have both baking powder and soda, most time it is a cake that have fresh ingredients like carrot, or if you're making a zucchini cake, a squash cake, if you're making chocolate cake, any cake that is high in enzyme, you definitely want to add both baking powder and baking soda. And so here you want to incorporate your carrot in 2 parts. And put the carrot last, because after you incorporate your flour and everything and you build up that structure in your flour, you want the carrot to go in last. Some recipe may call for the carrot to go at the beginning stage, but know that the more you mix the carrot, the more the liquid is inside, and you're extracting that liquid out of the carrot, and that can help to break down your mixture or your cake. Those are some very important tips I'm sharing. You want to stay tuned for many more videos to come as I break down everything you need to know in order for you to have successful cake pastries as you bake and go along. So hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed, so that you will be notified when more videos are out. And you want to put it into a preheated oven, and you're going to bake this for like an hour inside the oven. And after you're finished baking, you see the result of this cake. And before, when we spray the pan, you see how easily it unmold. This is very important, and you want to get this just before it cools down completely. And there you go, carrot cake from the pastry poet. Hey, do me a favor, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more, and stay tuned as I'm going to show you how to make this icing on top and how to decorate this cake. So until next time, stay tuned, walk good.